This is a Jesse Groove Rainy Day podcast. Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Just Talking. We have gone over relationships, word salad, marriage being worth it, and a bunch of other things. But today we're going to go into something completely different. But before we do, let us go back to the rule of 4. Like, comment, subscribe, be notified with the notification bell. Those 4 simple ways of doing things take you about 6 seconds if you're slow. No, it'll take a bit longer than that, but it won't take very long at all. And the best part of it all is that it's free. We bring you this stuff because we think you should hear it. We enjoy bringing it to you, and hopefully we'll put a smile on your face as you go about your day. You want to take a step further? Consider donations. Those will be in the link below as well. You can check those out when you want to. Every little bit helps. $1 helps at this rate. Give as much or as little as you want. You will be notified. You will be acknowledged during one of our webcasts, whether it's live or pre-recorded, and it'll make you feel good about it. And now, on with the show. Today, I think we'll talk about relationships, but relationships in the sense of, are relationships even worth it? Is the whole male-female dynamic worth it in today's society? On its face, the answer would be equivocally no. Women punching over their weight class, guys getting diminishing returns on their investment. On its face, it's just not worth it. Women feel, oh, we shouldn't have to date down or settle to get a man. Or men are thinking, these women are crazy. They're delusional with their unreasonable, unworkable ideals. And we should just opt out. I'm here to tell you that it all depends upon your point of view. As I've said before, and I'll say it again until I can't speak anymore, marriage, dating, relationships are hard. There's no cheat code. There's no easy way into it. There's no easy way out of it. If you want it, you got to go get it. On his song, I Need Love, LL Cool J once said, I can't sit and wait for my princess to arrive. I got to struggle and fight to keep the dream alive. That's true. Call that what you want. Simple, whatever. I don't care. That's very true. Because if you sit and you wait for something, it's more than likely it'll never happen. I remember back when I first got married, and I went to my friend's house, and his father was home. He came into town after being away, and we were talking for a minute, and he said, so, Obi, when are you going to have kids? And I was honest with him. I said, I don't know. We got to make sure the money's right, and I just don't know. And he stopped me. He put his hand on my shoulder and said, if you wait for the right time, you'll never have them. And I sat to myself and said, what? And it gave me pause. I had to think about it for a minute. What did he mean if I wait for the right time, it'll never happen? It wasn't until much later that I honestly understood what he's talking about. And it's true. And that, by extension, it's true of everything that we deal with. If you sit and wait, it'll never come to you. Children, if you wait for the right time to have children, you never have them. Marriage, if you wait for the right time to get married, it'll never happen. Because life happens. Things happen on a day-to-day that, for the most part, I mean, you can say what you want, but a lot of things happen that you have no control over and you never saw coming. And you're stuck dealing with it. Granted, it took me another 23, 24 years to have my children. But eventually I did have them. And it wasn't for waiting, and it wasn't for lack of trying. But there it is. Sitting around and waiting, well, things just won't happen. Or you'll be caught up in something when the time arrives and you'll never see it. Why in the universe would someone want that? Nobody in their right mind is going to wait for something only to have it pass by them because they were expecting something else or they were dealing with something else. But it happens almost every day. It's like waiting for an hour or so for the bus to come. You hear your phone ring, you reach in your pocket to get your phone, and the bus goes zooming by. You weren't ready. And yet it happened anyway. Things are going to happen. Good, bad, or indifferent. Things are going to happen, and they're going to happen in their own time. And it's up to us to acknowledge it and be ready for it. You can't sit and wait. And this applies to relationships. Is that in the dating marketplace today, things happen at breakneck speed. And you have to be ready. You can't half step. You can't be tentative. You can't be hesitant. You're a crouching cat, and you got to be ready to pounce when the moment's right. No hesitation. No nothing. Opportunity presents itself, you're on it. And because of that, there are some steps that you need to be ready. And this goes for females as well as males. This is for everybody. The first thing you have to realize was that There isn't someone for everybody. There just isn't. Statistically speaking, there is. Statistically speaking, there is more females on the planet than males. So all of us males, statistically speaking, should be able to come with somebody. But it's flipped on its head when you deal with hypergamy. Women traditionally don't want someone on their level or below. And as mentioned by Pearl at Pearly Things, Just Pearly Things, check it out. Once again, you don't know what you're missing. Women are hardwired to gravitate toward the best they can get. And the best they can get is not equal to who they are. Once again, not very fair. Because following that to its logical conclusion, that means women are punching above their weight class. They're striving for something that they really can't have because they're not truly entitled to it. The majority of men are going to be left in the dust. So men have two binary choices. Level up or level out. Level up, become the thing that these women want, or MGTOW, go your own way. I can't personally fault guys that are going to go their own way, because if I wasn't married, I'd probably be that way too. I'm a good looking guy. I'm 6 foot. I make good money. Now, that makes me a solid 6, 7, 7.5 when I dress up. Now, does that make me up there with 8, 9, and 10? No. Not even close. And I'd be a fool and a liar to tell you otherwise. I know my place, I know my role, I know my value. I know these things. Women, on the other hand, don't have to worry about bringing anything more than their looks, their beauty, what God gave them. And don't get it twisted. I don't care what a girl looks like. As long as she has 3 things to play with, she will be smashed. No one will tell her about it. No one will talk about it. Once again, my guy's third base. MC Search was talking about being on a desert island, and there's a 300-pound white girl. No one to see this. Boom, I drop my fluid like a chemist. Is that fair? No. You're good enough to smash, but you're not good enough for me to meet your people? But that's the game. When you enter the dating marketplace, you agree to play the game. Rules are fluid when they exist at all. And if they don't exist, at some point, someone will make them up. The goalposts will be moved on a whim at any given moment with no warning whatsoever. What does that mean for the average guy? Well, that means that the average guy, as it stands, has little to no say in how the game is played. He's going to have to level up. He's going to have to figure out a way to make himself more valuable in the eyes of his prospective mate or his prospective partners. That means, don't have a job? Get one. You got a job, do better. If you're bummy, dress up. If you do dress, dress better. And therein lies the great equalizer too, because people can't change what they look like. Which isn't necessarily true because you can get plastic surgery now. But for the most part, because it is rather expensive, people choose not to. You can't change what you look like. But you can compensate in other ways. Two of the biggest examples of this is the lead singer of Aerosmith, Mick Jagger, and Rod Stewart. They come off the top of the tongue. There are tons of others, but they don't look good at all. But they sing, and they have a buttload of money. So women tend to overlook the obvious. Oh, I gotta kiss that. Ew. But they overlook that because the other things they bring to the table, they bring status, they bring money, they bring fame, they bring, and they, to an extent, they bring power. So I gotta get next to that. Which brings me to yet another one of those asterisks, caveats. Women have their rules and have their wish list. Right up to the point where they decide they don't need it and they destroy it. Classic example. I would never date a thug. And they're preaching it to their friends, and they're proud about it, and they brag about it. Right up to the point where there's this good-looking thug who decides to take an interest in them. And everything goes out the window in a flash. I thought you weren't going to talk to the thug. I know what you're talking about. Get my picture. I know what you're talking about. But you said, no. I changed my mind. And girls change their mind like they change clothes. Frequently, a lot of times without rhyme or reason. And you start thinking, if they change their mind that quickly, maybe I have a chance. And you probably do. You probably do have a chance. But you got to level up. do better, look better, be better. Those three things. And as far as looks are concerned, once again, if you bring other things to the table, you can be as ugly as sin, but you can be funny and girls will love you for it. That's something you actually can change. Make people laugh. If you're an extrovert, it's easy. If you're an introvert, you need to work on it. But that's an easy way to change and make yourself more attractive in the eyes of prospective females. Be funny. Get your game up. Learn how to talk the talk. That's half the battle. If you know how to talk to women, grab and hold their interest, you got the majority of the game won. You're winning. You're a winner. And simultaneously, while you're doing that, you need to learn how to finish it and close the deal. Now, you may get a female who doesn't mind teaching. And yes, that does go against one of the rules of the manosphere by having a low body count. But let's face it, in today's day and age, there's no such thing. Women lose their virginity 13, 14, 15. By the time they're 19, 20, 21, they've got a few bags, they've got a few bodies buried. They have a couple. So don't reach for something that is pretty much unattainable. If you know that the majority of females that you're going to meet have some sort of body count, internally acknowledge it and move on. Now, in an ideal world, everybody's a virgin. They meet, they fall in love, they get married, then they have sex. And by that time, they're so enthralled with their partners is that they don't know any better. That's all they've ever had. And they're happy to have it. So everybody's happy. Unfortunately, we do not live in a ideal world. There's no utopia. Obi-Berg doesn't exist. It exists in my head, but that's about as far as it's going to get. Another thing that you guys need to start doing is being cool with yourself. Now that, on its face, is a direct contradiction upon the whole level up and man up and be a better person and all that good stuff. But think about it this way. If you are content within yourself, if you are happy with the person you are, the life you're leading. It's going to show outwardly. You're going to be confident. You're going to have your stuff together. You walk a little taller, chest will stick out a little bit further. You speak with confidence. You speak like you know what you're talking about, because you do. And girls love it. Next time that when you're single, you meet somebody, and you really like this person, watch how many people come out of the woodwork practically throwing themselves at you. It'll amaze you. You're like, what the heck? Where were these people when I was single? I have a theory. And the theory simply is, you're happy. And people tend to gravitate toward happiness, especially when they don't have that happiness in their lives. They start thinking, wow, he's single. He's happy. I wonder if I get with him, I'll get some of the happiness too. Not knowing that the reason why you're happy is because you found somebody already. You're content with them. You're happy with them. But they don't know that. And depending upon the people that you roll with and the circumstances that you're in, certain women won't care. One of the best lines I ever heard came from the great Chris Rock. And I believe this is in his Bigger and Blacker show, I think. I'm not sure. If you know what it is, let me know in the comments, please. But he said, if a boy introduces his girl to his friend, he'll be like, oh, she's nice. I want to meet somebody just like her. Now, if a girl introduces her boyfriend to another female, she'd be like, I want him. And I'll slit that bitch's throat to get him. And that's so true. Because men, on the whole, they travel in the thoughts of one of my friends once told me, and we didn't really think about it till much, much later. But the rule was, once you get it, you got it. I don't want sloppy seconds. Now, there's always an exception to the rule. But that's the way the rule generally works, and that's the rule that men normally stick to. Women don't have that rule. They are competitive by nature. If they see something that they want, it doesn't matter if someone has it or not. They're going to get it. And once again, there are exceptions to that rule. Not everyone operates in that thing of cutthroat, slash and burn, destroy, destroy, destroy. No. But a lot of women do. That's why you get fights over guys. I saw him first. You can't have him. Oh yeah? Stop me. Come on then. Knuckle up. Is that fair? No. Is it right? Not even. Is it just? Not even close. But once again, it is what it is. It is a part of dating. It is a part of relationship. It is a part of life. And a lot of the things I'm telling you, you may find difficult to hear, or you may not want to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, don't. You do you, boo, as they say. You go about your business and you live your life, and more power to you. But you must be mindful and be prepared to deal with the consequences of that decision. If you choose to ignore what I'm saying, and it is a choice, if you choose to ignore what I'm telling you, be aware that things may go left. No. Things will go left. It isn't a matter of if, it's when. So when things go left, and you're by yourself, and you're looking around, you're seeing all your friends, all these people in meaningful, happy relationships. And you look back at me. Don't look at me. I tried to tell you. You chose to ignore my words. You chose to ignore me. Now you must reap what you sow. And that's not fair. But it is life. There are consequences to our actions. And as it's been said before, you may have freedom of choice, but you do not have freedom of consequence from those choices. Things are going to happen. And a lot of times they'll be beyond your ability to control or to understand. I'm not even asking you to understand it. I'm asking you to be aware of it. And I'm going to help you and teach you and show you how to move and conduct yourself to minimize those damages. Because they're going to happen. How you deal with it, how you recover from it, will be a testament to who you are as a person and where you wind up in this life. I've come from a long, long line of independent people. And when I was younger, my filters were turned all the way off. I called it as I saw it. And I didn't care how anybody felt about it. Not my problem, above my pay grade. And nor was that more viewed, mindful, and nor was it more apparent than my dating. I like you. You go out with me? No? Okay. Off to the next one. Or There's this time I was talking to this girl, and I really wasn't into her. And I was talking to a good friend of mine. We were walking around talking about it. And I told him, I'm really not into her. She said, so why are you talking to her? I don't know, something to do. And it eventually came up. And I told her, I'm not really that into you. Why are you talking to me? It was something to do. It was a logical thing to do. I didn't win many people, but I didn't care. She didn't speak to me again after that. Not bothered. And as I grew up, I began to understand the consequences of those actions and modeling myself accordingly. So a lot of that external venting became internalized. I think it. I wouldn't say it unless I was forced or pressed, but I would definitely think it. And then not too long ago, I was talking to my youngest brother, and he told me, I miss you. And I said, I miss you. He said, no. I miss you. I miss the innovator. I miss the guy who would say what he felt. I miss the guy who was full of ideas. I miss him. And it gave me pause. When I began to think on that. So I decided to tweak my personality. I will say what needs to be said. I will say it loudly. I'll say it forcefully, and I'll say it with my chest out, stuck out, and my head held high. But I will be mindful of saying things like that because I understand what the consequences are. I understand the price I will pay for saying that. And I'll act on a case-by-case basis. If it's worth the risk, I'm going for it. If it's not worth the risk, I'll keep it to myself. And there it is. Guys, do better, and at the same time, know and love yourself. Because as I said before, if you don't love yourself, no one's going to love you. It starts at home. Know yourself. Love yourself. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Level up. You'll find yours. And women, it's not a bad thing to explore your options. When you're at work and you notice the copy boy, say hi. Doesn't cost you nothing. Takes about 2 seconds out your day. You might strike up a conversation. You might like what you hear. And eventually, you like what you see. It may go further. It may not. but it doesn't hurt to try. Explore your options. Expand your range of vision. Women today have tunnel vision. It is said that 80% of women want 20% of men. I'll go as far as to say it's 100% of women want 20% of men. They all want it. They all want the Chad, the Pookie, the Tyrone. Everybody wants him. But he don't want everybody. At least not in a committed sense. He'll Hulk out on everybody. Hulk smash. Chad smash. Tyrone smash. Oh, he'll smash. And it was a memorable encounter. He'll call a smash again. But that's all it is. Women need to understand that. It's not fair, it's not right, but it is what it is. Men are biologically inclined to sow their seed. Scattering them. Hit as many females as possible to spread their genes as far out as possible, as humanly possible. Men control relationships, women control sex. And these days, relationships start with sex. In an ideal world, it wouldn't, but we don't live in an ideal world. Women, know your worth, but don't overinflate your worth. I'm a 10. No, you're not. There is no 10. 10 are perfection. Perfection is a state of being. You can chase it. You'll never, ever achieve it. Never. So, understand that you won't get there. You can't be a 10. Lower your gaze. Stop staring at the horizon. Stop waiting for that ship to come in. Because I'm going to tell you, more times than not, it won't. Now, it may. You could get lucky. And that would be extremely lucky. Even then, I wouldn't count on that. Because if you catch a Chad, or a Pookie or a Tyrone, it'll be a situationship. Because he's got options. He's got women throwing themselves at him. And to, again, quote Chris Rock, men don't run that hard. And they're not that fast. But that's a topic again for another day. And we've come to the end of yet another one of these informative, yet and provocative, yet timely shows. I want to thank you all for taking the time out to sit here and chat with me and discuss things with me. And remember the rule of 4. 1. The most important. Like this show. That's the most important thing. It takes a second out of your time. 2. Comment. Whether you like or dislike what we're talking about, let us know. If you have ideas about things we can talk about, let us know. We can't grow if we don't know. That'll take a minute, probably 2 minutes out of your time. You'll feel better, and we'll feel better. We'll feel better because, like, oh, they want to talk about such and such. So let's talk about it. That's a good idea. Subscribe. You like what we're doing. You're down with the program. Subscribe to it. Get on our mailing list so that YouTube can continue to give you the quality content that you come to know and love from us. And 4, notify via notification bell. This option allows YouTube to let you know when new things are coming. And you know that beforehand. Four options, 4 actions that mean more than you'll ever know. And help us to continue to bring the content that we know you like. So until the next, this is your highly favored, humble host, OBJ. Saying peace to you all. Stay safe, stay happy, and good night.